Nightly News. It is Friday, June 20th, 2014, and I'm Leanne McAdoo. Well, as a surge of unaccompanied minor children flood across the border, the Obama administration has announced today that it's going to be responding with a surge of its own. Now, this surge is going to include immigration judges and U.S. attorneys that they say will help speed up the deportation of some of these undocumented immigrants. Well, they also announced a series of grants to help officials in Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador. This includes a $9.6 million grant to those governments to build and improve their repatriation centers. This is where the deported immigrants are going to stay once they've been flown back home. But there's also another $83 million on the table to create some new USAID programs that are going to go to improve the security, and also some gang prevention programs will be adopted in those countries. 93 million taxpayer dollars is what they are proposing to fix this situation. Now, John Boehner has become the highest ranking official, government official, to call for Obama to send the national security to secure the border. Now, Boehner said in a letter to the president, the National Guard is uniquely qualified to respond to such humanitarian crises. They are able to help deal with both the needs of these children and families, as well as relieve the Border Patrol so they can focus on their primary duty of securing our border. So I guess maybe the National Guard is going to go there and change diapers and feed these kids. Now, Boehner puts the blame of this border surge and threat to national security squarely on the shoulders of the Obama administration. He says, the policies of your administration have directly resulted in the belief by these immigrants that once they reach U.S. soil, they'll be able to stay here indefinitely. Now, Vice President Joe Biden was dispatched to Central America as well to go ahead and try and dispel some of these swirling rumors. He was sent there to do just that, to send this message. He wanted to warn against the perils of this trip and also to let people know that the U.S. is going to start detaining families at the border instead of releasing them on their own recognizance. Now, meanwhile, U.S. diplomats in the region warn families also do not send your children north and don't go themselves. The ambassador to Mexico, Anthony Wayne, said on Thursday that all who enter the United States without proper immigration status are subject to deportation proceedings. Simply put, there is no reward for the great risk to which these children are being subjected. So obviously the Obama administration has now hit overdrive. They're trying to save face, fix this situation here, put out the clear message that we're not going to be just accepting any illegal aliens that come to our country. States, of course, are worried, how are they going to be housing these unaccompanied minor children and any of the illegal immigrants that are here? How are they going to pay for all of this? And the big question, what happens if a true natural disaster hits this country? How will the government take care of its citizens? And that is exactly the question that was posed by Texas Governor Rick Perry. He asked the question yesterday. He said, what would happen if a major hurricane hits the U.S. and while the country was still housing thousands of undocumented children? He said, we are just going into hurricane season. Were we to have a major event and literally do not have places to house our citizens because of this influx from Mexico, I am greatly concerned the catastrophe that could occur with those two events happening simultaneously. And being, of course, from a state that is prone to hurricanes, this is a valid concern. People are still displaced from Hurricane Katrina. So what would happen if a huge hurricane were to hit Texas or Florida or any of these other states that are taking in all of these illegals? They would have nowhere to go unless they do actually have some FEMA detention centers just waiting to house all of us.